That was a lot of undead.
You may as well be fuel for the bonfire.
I'm seeing why Hezenkos failed that lich morality test.
We must make haste to that lantern. Unbelievable! Johanna's stolen a chamber from the Grand Necropolis and transposed it under Blackthorn Manor.
That magic should be impossible, so of course we've run into it.
The Necropolis's walls here are still intact. No wonder we couldn't sense what she's been creating.
Don't think I can't sense sneaking about.
Oh, I wish Manfred had stayed above.
He'll be fine. We'll handle this.
My job's done. Your turn.
Manfred, there you are.
And can you release that ladder?
Thank you, Manfred. Now find somewhere safe.
There's the lantern. You gonna free the spirits inside?
We must, before we can destroy it.
Like back when you were freeing those spirits Hezenkos trapped in the manor? That took a lot out of you.
We must try, Rook.
Emmerich?
There are too many trapped spirits. I'm sorry. I can't. Another lash of power might end me.
Coward!
What's that, Volkaren? Afraid to chance death for your precious spirits? For all your fine words on the subject, only I had the courage to risk my life for our art.
I've seen Emmerich face worse than you.
I'm not the one so paralyzed by fear I couldn't seize immortality.
Johanna! Listen to me! You're right. I've never overcome fear of that final dark. I miss having a friend that could.
Yes. Always the idealist.
I'm sorry Lichdom failed you. I swear I would have helped you had you come to me. But puppeting this creature...
Puppet? Puppet? Do you think I'm staying a failed lich? I won't command my greatest creation! I will become it! Plotting colleagues, interfering Templars, inept rivals. You all have a place in my heart. And tonight you will fuel my ascension at the cost of your miserable lives.
Move!
You think you can stop me? Once I get rid of you, I will merge with my greatest work and conquer this city!
Emmerich, can she do that?
Yes! She's attempting full possession with the life of the people here.
We need to stop Hezenkos long enough to destroy that lantern.
So much life inside it. The backlash could...
We don't have a choice.
I can't believe you brought your ridiculous pet skeleton with you!
His name is Manfred!
I'll crush you myself if I must. Touching that you brought your new friends to die with you, Veilguard. I'll be sure to bury you all in the same tomb!
Working. We can't break the lantern.
You think I'd leave myself vulnerable to you? Enough playing! Your pointless lives will fuel my triumph!
Think we should move.
She's draining life from us. We must find shelter.
Right. Free the spirits in that lantern?
It might kill me and not even work. No living thing can approach it and... Manfred! Come back!
Any last words, Veilguard, before I... You miserable little...
Manfred!
Manfred knew you could do this. So do I.
By the spirits bound here, night and shadow, light and blood.
What are you doing?
Let your chains loosen. Let the fade draw close.
You'll never succeed, you old fool!
I release you to the air.
No! You small minded!
Emmerich, how's Manfred holding together?
We must go to the necropolis. His body could only take so much. But I underestimated him, Rook. What bravery in the heart of the dead. And how he grew. Manfred disobeyed me beautifully. He was his own soul at the end.
Can you bring him back?
I will ask.
Emric Volkaren. You were not expected so soon.
If I can do anything to help...
Thank you. But this must come from me. My lord, I come regarding Manfred, my fallen companion.
Yes, there are ways to return his spirit. But should you do this, Lichdom falls from your grasp.
What? Why?
Lichdom is long. If I'm to stand outside death, I must make peace with others passing through it.
What would we otherwise become? How many exceptions till tyranny? Revive him and remain mortal. Or let him slumber and join us.
Emric.
Manfred chose to help us. Am I too weak to accept his well-earned rest? I yearn for Lichdom Rook, that leap into something greater, that everlasting light. Do I revive him and live out my days? Or do I honor death by letting him rest and protect this world through immortality?
Mortality's a hard price, but you'd miss Manfred.
Oh, of course I would. But a Watcher should be more accepting of loss, of grief, of his own death in turn.
You're braver than you know, Emmerich. You've always risked your life. Against Hesenkos, against the gods.
Death's abyss always recedes with someone to brave it for.
I think facing a lot of things would be easier if Manfred was back.
Oh, he was fearless. He has so much potential, Rook. So far to grow.
Then help him do it.
You're absolutely right. I'll need your help. Rest easy, Manfred. We'll soon have you back amongst the living.
I should check on Emmerich and see if he's ready to bring back Manfred.
I've made my preparations, Rook. Will you help me restore Manfred to the world of the living?
I'll do whatever I can.
Thank you. We must go to the necropolis once you're ready.
Hi.
What are you reading?
Syrian's last words? Veil Jumpers had them. He must have known it was the end, one way or another.
Right. I don't know what to say here.
Me neither. I don't know if anyone does. He and I, we had plans. Together. Find the archive, the Nodasterthalin. Restore the elves. Bring them back to who they were. But now he's gone, and I wonder if the archive should go with him.
What do you think Syrian would say?
He told me, actually, in his letter. Or tried to, didn't really give an answer. Told me to remember the beauty, what our people accomplished, back then. But to remember the other side of it, the Evanuris, Anaris.
So not much advice on which path is better.
The archive holds parts of my people, some good, some bad. That's the burden. My people's future on my shoulders.
Everyone trusts you, Balara. Strife, Eilin, the team.
I don't know if I trust myself. Not for something like this. This big a decision. I don't want to make the wrong choice.
Sometimes the only wrong choice is not choosing at all.
Then tell me, Rook, what would you do?
What you were is important. It's worth the risk. The elves deserve to know more about who they were. Keep the archive.
I think you're right. We'll keep the archive, that connection to our past. It's what Syrian and I were looking for.
Now you've found it.
Right. And I found him too. For a little while. That has to be enough.
You gonna be okay?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm ready to say goodbye. For real, this time. But I need some time. Alone. I'll talk to you later, Rook.
I'm meeting Veilguard at Isananagad, on the mountain. Come with me?
Is there unfinished business?
No, nothing of the sort, but I could use company, if you're up for the trip.
Maybe tomorrow. Swimming? Don't push your luck. You're still learning how to fly.
You two have come a long way since we met.
Yeah, and he's still just a cub.
Wait till he's a teenager.
It's all about emotion with his son. What makes him happy, what makes him sad, or afraid. He's pure that way. No hiding anything. He likes you, you know it. He doesn't like you, he won't hold back.
What about me?
He's taken a shine.
Yeah?
Listen, I wanted to thank you. Without your help, the Griffins would have gone extinct all over again. You stepped up. They have a home because of you.
Watching over the forest seems like the best future for them.
Eldrin's going to love you for this.
I wonder what Hassan's brothers and sisters think.
He says as long as there are clear skies to roam, warm sun to nap, and bellyfuls of food, they'll be happy.
A griffin's word is good enough for me.
Till Tosh teaches him how to swear.
That might actually be fun. See you around.
Hey, Rook. Come to stare into the fire. I've heard that helps people think. Can't say I've had luck with it.
Spite will not stop demanding revenge for Treviso. Is there any more we can do?
We have found new... We've traced several disappearances to an unusual possession.
It seeks fear. Cut it down. How go your inquiries? Prepare yourselves. Victory to the living.
Okay, Emmerich. How's this work?
We'll need assistance finding Manfred's wisp and drawing it back into his body. By pact and pledge, I seek an audience. By light and breath, let wisdom come. You've met these spirits before, but I've never properly introduced you. Rook, allow me to present two Necropolis Guardians, the keepsake of ages and far-sighted curio.
Thank you both very much for helping with Manfred.
How polite. How fine.
Good manners in mortal kind, beyond the spirit callers at last.
Friends, my assistant, my ward, Manfred, sacrificed himself to save us.
We'd heard you'd abandoned Lichdom to bring him back. Your work, your dreams.
You paid the price. But it seems there are many flickers of curiosity in the Fade.
And only one you seek. Draw his wisp near. Speak.
Can I help?
Yes, please. Think of Manfred. Tell me something you felt about him. Concentrate.
He was always excited to be around you, Emmerich. If spirits can learn to love, he loved you.
In the sea of the Fade, there are wakes left by our passing. Our desires, our fears. I leave this beacon for you, Manfred. Follow my voice. Return to me!
Please.
Manfred?
It worked!
That's wonderful! That's wonderful indeed!
Thanks for stitching that seam on my coat, Fred. It was coming loose. And nice new threads yourself.
Thank you.
Yes, we needed something to mark him as an apprentice around the necropolis.
It's a good fit. See you around.
Yes.
How you doing, Manfred?
Alive.
He's excited for his training. Manfred's spellcraft is coming along nicely, more or less. Some undead have the potential to cast magic. I believe his was unlocked by his journey through the Fade.
Ah, what was that like?
Dunno.
You mean you don't know?
Dunno.
We must work on that enunciation. Why don't you fetch the primer?
I'm glad things worked out.
I'm glad you talked me into it. As he grows, Manfred will better learn to take care of himself. I won't worry so much when I pass on.
How do you feel about that last part?
I have moments of regret for what Lichdom might have been. But none would make me exchange this for anything.
So, what's this about?
I got you a thing.
Oh, Tosh. It's gorgeous. The stitching.
Yeah. Because I appreciate your skills. At archery.
Thank you, Tosh. That's really sweet.
You're really nice. And, you smell good.
Oh. Thank you?
Really good.
Oh, please get there faster, Harding.
Oh. Hey, Tosh. Do you want to come with me to break this in?
Yeah. Like, now?
Of course now.
Oh, good. Let's go.
Hey, Rook. Irulan and Strife reached out. They finished preparations for Syrion's funeral. I could use someone to come with me, if you're able. Just let me know, okay?
Sure thing.
Rook, I had an idea. I figured it's a good time to check in with Eldrin. See how his griffin training is coming along. Want to come with me to Arlathan?
Sounds like a plan.
It'll be good to see those feathery faces again.
It worked.
Rook, good. We have discovered what Ivenchi is planning for Treviso. When you fought the comic master in the garrison, you mentioned a note you found that said some comic had gone missing.
We have discovered who stole it.
Ivenchi.
The governor intends to release it all around the city to pacify violent seditionists.
They called us reckless, and now... Now Ivenchi will ruin the minds of thousands in this city to have their peace and order.
Destroying your own people's minds. How could Ivenchi do this?
By telling themselves there is nothing else to be done.
After the dragon attack, and then the blight... The governor is a coward who has given up on Treviso.
Better to poison the last of it themselves than let anyone else solve these things.
It is finally time to strike. Go to the garrison and prevent Ivenchi from releasing the comic.
Once you are there, Thea and I will lead the crows against the rest of Ivenchi's forces in the city.
Understood.
There is something else. Jacobus stormed off earlier. He did not look well.
Look out for him, would you?
Of course. We'll head to the garrison.
Do you think Ivenchi would target the field hospital?
I would not put anything past them now. I heard the butcher.
There's the garrison.
First,
onto the garrison and the governor.
Please, go on.
First,
The courtyard looks empty.
No guards? Where are the Antam?
Eventually must be further in. We clear the garrison this time. Eventually's got to know there's no way out for a traitor.
Look! Intruders! Call them down. We can escape across the roofs.
we'll see who ends this.
There! That was amazing!
Courtyard's full of darkspawn.
That explains why Eventually's Anton were trying to run. She's blighted. Wait! Jacobus! Okay, now for Avenchi.
I will see you dead if it's the last thing I do before the blight takes me!
The strange aura in the air. Something's wrong.
real?
I see the comic is working. I told you once, it won't end any differently. Why don't you die? Why don't you give up? If that damned dark spawn at the gates hadn't scratched me, blighted me, if you hadn't interfered,
It wouldn't have made a difference.
neither will my death. My comic could have helped stabilize the city. But it's still blighted, dying. Nothing can save Treviso now.
The crows, the citizens helping each other through the dragon and the blight, they're already taking care of each other.
It won't last.
It will. The other crows will make sure of it. You say you did all this for Treviso, eventually, to protect it. But you never really believed in it.
What would you know about the city I love?
If Rook hadn't stopped the governor in time. Rook! I should have wine. We should toast you.
Evenchi is dead. The comic is being disposed of. All thanks to you.
The garrison's a mess.
Details.
The Untom remain, though with Evenchi gone, I think we will be able to persuade them to move on in the coming months.
People are being moved to safer areas outside the Blight. Crows have time now to patrol for Darkspawn.
It will take years, but we can plan for Treviso's future now that it has one.
Treviso would have fallen long ago if it really didn't have a chance.
I'm not so sure. A city is only as healthy as those who care for it.
You never gave up, Rook. We will repay that in full. But life is so dull if all we talk about are responsibilities. It is time to celebrate.
For our victory.
For Treviso's freedom.
For the crows.
What an excellent idea. Viago, dear, you mentioned something about getting us drinks?
I think we've done what we can for Treviso. Whatever happens, this city's people won't flee. The other crows won't either.
A lot of places Venatori could be hiding out
I got everything you need for kicking the... Safe travels.
You know, with everything going wrong in the colony.
I could use some action. Let me know if I can help. Eldrin, how's the training going?
Just a minute. Poachers are nearby. The Hulla are in trouble. Quick, to your positions. Go!
Maybe try asking them nicely?
I won't be there the day the real hunters show up. No time to be polite.
What about belly rubs?
You're the one leading the charge against the gods?
Carrot before the stick.
Looks like you met your match there, Eldrin.
They know none of this is real. Won't waste the effort.
You need to rouse the raptor in them.
That gives me an idea.
Wait, what's happening?
The Hulla are in trouble, and unarmed hunters nearby. Attack!
No.
Got it!
Enna Bellinaris. From the form, we bring forth the eternal. Thanks, Rook, for coming. I don't think I could have done this alone.
We're a team. We stick together no matter what.
Still, I appreciate it. Anyways, we need to light 3 more braziers. Each one represents an aspect of the self. It's close to what we've always done. The Dalish, I mean. But the ancient elves used veil fire to show our connection to the Fade. Or so the archive tells me anyways. I think it's what Syrian would have wanted.
I know it's hard, but you can do this.
I already buried him once. At least this time, it's for real. Let's head to the first brazier. Okay, the first brazier should be ahead somewhere.
How far?
However far it needs to be, I guess. Wonder what else we'll find. On the archive, I mean.
Could be anything, really. It didn't sound too choosy.
Not choosy, but rude. And very, very stubborn.
Belara.
Hey, Irulan.
Look, if you need to talk, let me know. I don't want our history to make things awkward, and I'm still your friend, you know? Anyways, time to light the first brazier.
Third we grant to the stars, to speak your life to the firmament. Am I doing this right? I don't know. The archive wasn't much help. It told me the words, but words are only part of it. Rituals aren't just about what you say, it's why and how you say it.
Reclaiming the past was never going to be easy. But you have to start somewhere. Why not here?
Syrian made it sound so simple. Learn the past and then live it. But so much is different. Who we are now is as important as who we were. I just wish it were easier. Okay, let's head to the next brazier.
It's unusual to see all these obstacles in the way of a funeral. Death's hard to deal with, though, no matter where you come from.
Each obstacle's supposed to represent grief and moving past it, literally. But yeah, it's a little weird. Probably. Syrian would have laughed at it. Okay, on to the next brazier.
So what do you think is out there?
I don't know. Could be anything, really. That's kind of the magic. Nev, what are you doing here?
What? You know I show up for you, Belle. They'd only let one of us come, though. The rest send their regards, especially Emmerich.
I'm just... Wow. Thank you, Nev. And everyone else.
Hey, as long as I'm around, you've got family. All right, go on and light the brazier.
A third we grant to the sea, to carry you to distant shores. Syrian always wanted to see what was across the ocean. Not Pervalen, I mean really across. The other parts of the world. I wonder if the Evanurus ever left Thetis.
That's a good question. Who knows how far they traveled?
We've seen their power. I bet they could go anywhere. Maybe there are other elves, somewhere else. Without the Exalted Marches, without Tevinter, what does that even look like? Maybe better, or maybe not, but different? More of us alive? And probably free? Okay. On to the next one. Okay. One more brazier to go. I'd hoped that the archive might change, now that Anaris is gone, I mean.
I'm guessing it didn't?
It called me a witless fool 3 times when it was teaching me about ancient elven funerals.
Oh, not so much then.
I had to threaten to send it into an active volcano.
So why are there people waiting after the I thought Dalish clans planted trees for their funerals.
This is what we've always done. That I remember, anyway. Well, we didn't use ancient magic before. First...
Valara, I'm sorry about Syrian.
Thanks, Strife. I'm glad you're here.
He was one of us, even if he never officially joined.
He died protecting Arlathan, even knowing the cost.
Saving the world. Family. Time to light the last brazier.
And a third we return to the infinite, to find their way to the sanctum of the eternal. And that's it. The words we used to say. According to the archive, at least. It's close to what we say now. Not the same, but nearly. And it's what he would have wanted.
It sounds nice. The sanctum of the eternal. It's a lot more hopeful than some funerals I've been to.
Maybe that's why I'm not sadder. I mean, I'm mostly okay. Not amazing, not great, but okay. We found it. That connection. What Syrian and I were looking for. When he came back, it hurt again. Worse, almost. But this time, I got to say goodbye. And now I have to live my life. That's all I can do, for either of us.
Making it from one day to the next is pretty tough some days. But we do it, and it's enough.
Right. One foot in front of the other. I don't know what our people's future looks like. But now they know their past, and they have a future. I hope you've found peace, wherever you are now. Dareth, Shiral, and Ha Belanaris. Syrian, I love you.
Thanks for the tip.
You spend far too much time here, Dorian.
This is where all my favorite people are. And besides, I have news. And every messenger bird I've met is dreadful at nuance.
Magister Parvus, it's good to see you again.
At least someone appreciates my presence.
You're our eyes in the Magisterium. If someone spots you here...
Yes, I know. Can't be spotted with the shadow dragons. You worry too much, May.
Well, what do you have for us?
The cult lost people in Arlathan, and leadership has fallen to Knight Commander Lenos. He aims to bring the city to its knees.
But Minrathous is already falling apart.
I know. While the Varantis' attack on the city could have been much worse, the people's fear in the aftermath is palpable.
And the rumors about the Archon are true. He's dead. Assassinated during the Dragon's rampage. The palace has tried to keep the news from spreading until a new Archon steps up.
And no one has?
No one dares. Not with the Venatori circling like vultures. The risen gods are preparing for something big. And for that, they need fear. Chaos.
Preparing for something big? I don't like the sound of that. We barely got out of Weishaupt alive, and we needed Solus's help in Arlathan.
And that's why we need to know what the Venatori are preparing for. Lenos is the key to all of it. First, we stop what he's planning for Minrathous.
And then we find out what the gods are preparing for.
Let's hope it stays that simple. One of Lenos' Venatori associates is often at the Cobbled Swan. Let's see what we can get from him.
We? Dorian, you can't be going yourself.
It's the Swan. Everyone goes to the Swan.
I'll head out right now. We really need to figure out the god's big plan. Dorian thinks Knight Commander Lenos is part of it, so let's track him down first.
Take a look. Come back soon. We'll have more.
Piercing, slashing, stabbing, smashing, crushing. Whatever you need, I have the weapon.
Where were we? First Talon. As if you weren't.
All the contracts I did in the winter, and I never did find out who paid for them.
You think it might have been the Shadow Dragons?
If someone else wanted the Venatori dead enough to hire me, I bet they'd know about it.
We probably shouldn't keep Dorian waiting too long. There's Dorian.
There's Lenos's associate. According to the shadows watching him, he's nervous and doesn't talk much, but does odd jobs for coin. Interesting, yes? I'll draw him off, you check his belongings, see if you can discover any clues about Lenos's plan.
Mostly gone. Warm. I don't even know what this is. Ale? Looks like he's been nursing it a while. Half-eaten stale bread, water flask, muddy socks. And this map. Minratha's targets. That doesn't sound good. A bedroll. It's definitely seen better days. And it's damp. Sleeping out in the rain?
What are you poking about there for?
Very good. Lenos intends to...
About to have a problem?
I feel and obey. I'll kick the crap out of him.
Something tore through these gates. Something big. Watch out. I bet this darkspawn is what tore through the gates.
Now! Looking good!
Tosh, keeping score.
All clear.
More blight in the way. That did it. We can get through now.
Bunch of them. Let's do this.
Everything's crumbling down here. Might be tricky to get out.
At least a dozen people have been lost trying to map this place. But I've mentioned that.
It's still blocked. There's another boil somewhere. Find the blight boils. We need to clear the way and keep pushing. We got it. Way should be clear.
Shadow dragons? How did you find this place? Venatori, to me! You think you've won? Do you think you can stop the Venatori? All the risen gods?
I don't know. But I can speak for you on.
The Shepherd!
One less corrupt Templar in Minrathous.
Can't say he'll be missed.
Let's look around, see what we find.
Weird place to hang out.
The risen god's ritual. That's what the gods in the Venatori are preparing for. Lenos's documents. They detail the Venatori's long-term plans and what they want to do with Tevinter. These star charts predict an eclipse. To make magic stronger.
So that's the play. A ritual performed under an eclipse to strengthen its power.
All this. The ritual, the eclipse, and the Venatori plans. We have to bring this to the Shadow Dragons immediately.
Let's head back. The Shadows need to know about this.
Evil old gods, rituals, waiting for the stars. It's about as Tevinter as blood magic and hubris. Learning about the gods' plans is wonderful, of course. But the lists of magisters you got your hands on, now there's the real gold.
You've looked at it already. Of course you have.
Information on their backers, the ties to illegal slavery. Don't you see what this means?
This is power, May. Imagine becoming Archon and using this against those who've been hurting the people for years.
You? On the throne? Dorian.
Tell me that wouldn't be a splendid way to bring about real change.
Changing Tevinter, helping people. If we can get something good out of all of this, I'm for it.
You've given us an opening, Rook, and believe me, we shall seize upon it.
But how would you use this information exactly?
Dorian wants to use it to crush our enemies by whatever means necessary. I prefer to use it to rally the people. I say we make the information known. Allow the people to see the real justice served. Prove that from now on, we work for them.
We tried that already. Or have you forgotten the Lucerni? I no longer trust that political machine will work in our favor. No. We must get at the root of the problem before they can react. A more forceful approach. Destroy them and their networks utterly.
Swords and spies and blackmail? The devious means you learned in the South? If we go outside the system, we invite everyone else to do the same. No, we have to do this in the open. Show the people of Tevinter that we're here for them.
We're Shadow Dragons. It's right there in the name. You supported this because you knew the system didn't work for the people.
The point was to work in the shadows until we could work in the light. And Rook has brought us what we need.
May, the Imperium's politics burned you once and you still...
Enough. We're not the only ones who have a stake in this. Rook, you have been instrumental in all this. Which strategy do you prefer?
What sort of change are you trying to achieve?
For a start, slavery. Abhorrent. It needs to go no more.
And Tevinter has been ruled by the Altus Mages for all of its history. That must change. The Zoparati, non-mages, deserve a say in their own governance.
And all that's just the beginning of what will undoubtedly be a long journey.
Shouldn't you be on the same side?
We are on the same side. We both know what Tevinter needs. How best to get it, that's the question.
If we went with Dorian's plan, I'd support it fully. But we won't, because he'll come around and realize that I'm right.
And I'd absolutely back you up on that, if you were right, which you aren't.
We'll see.
Will we?
Mevaris, you really believe making this evidence public will work?
Dorian wants to work behind the scenes, but once again, it's the Magisters and Highbloods pulling the Imperium's strings. That doesn't inspire. It's a tactic used by our enemies. We need to show Tevinter that we can be different.
Unless they find some way to bury it? Or leverage their wealth, power, and status as they often have before?
Politics is a long game. If we use force against our enemies, our allies will remember it.
You want me to choose who'll be Archon? But I'm not even from here. I can't decide.
Then talk to the ones who are. See what they say. Asher and Tarquin, Nev, Gallus, they're all a part of this, just as you are. We should all be comfortable with whatever course we take.
All right. I'll go do that. So what do you think?
Lenos is gone. We got information about the Venatori's plans, the god's ritual. I'd call that a good day.
I meant about Mevaris and Dorian. We all want change. Who will be the more effective in getting it?
Oh, that. You're dragging me into it?
You know me. I'm trouble. But more than that, it's your city. Your Tevinter. And I care about what you think.
Sweet talker. Mevaris Talani has been in this game for decades. She's dedicated and ruthless when she needs to be. Dorian Parvis is a wild card. Flashy and inventive, he'll keep his enemies on their toes. But damn it, there's no right answer. They both play the game well, and Tevinter's ready for change. But the best way to get it, who can make it happen, I wish I knew.
Grand news about Lenos. One less crooked Templar in town.
The city will be better off with him gone.
We can hope.
Lenos made my life miserable. Rana's too.
I hear he started out different. Maybe he once cared about something other than gold. But I didn't know that, Lenos. And I'm not going to mourn the one I did. Still, I'll thank the bastard for writing everything down. And delivering it to us all neat.
Dorian and Mevaris still have to decide what to do with everything we got from Lenos.
I just don't know enough about Tevinter to know what's best for its people.
I suspect this decision will determine Tevinter's path for years to come.
Then Dorian's way is my choice. He knows you don't stop to talk when you find a hole in the enemy's defenses.
Dorian is a brash rebel.
And Mevaris too much of a romantic.
I think the people will appreciate Mevaris returning as the leader they've always wanted to see.
No. They'll appreciate their lives actually changing for the better.
And whoever leaves will have the Shadow Dragon support, right?
Count on it.
We'll keep fighting. For Dorian. Or for Mevaris.
What else is there to do in this town, anyway? It rains all the damn time.
Maker. A full quarter of the Magisterium supporting a cult. Bending the knee to these risen old gods just for a taste of more power. Can they not see they're only tools for the gods? So they can destroy the world?
Demanding intelligence, rationality, and self-awareness from our peers. You ask too much, Mevaris.
Look at me. Such a fool.
Ah, it's Rook. You spoke with the others.
What do you think? Who should be leading the charge from here on?
Mevaris should lead.
I will not squander the opportunity. That is my promise to you all.
And May will have my full support, of course. For when enemies get in our way.
They will. It is Tevinter, after all.
The risen gods are still causing chaos. The people will need your voice to keep them fighting.
Oh, they will fight. This city has strength enough to stand against any so-called gods. We will win the day, and after that, we will win a brighter Tevinter for all of us.